Number 95, one will be the black and pink 83X of Caden Kath.
Lily Reps from Utica makes up the second row on the inside, car number 29, with Matthew Radke from Marion, Wisconsin on the outside in car number 1.
Lining up on the inside of row number 3 will be the defending former track champion here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, Sean Wolski with a 95X. Alongside of him, Colby Mann with the number 60.
Fourth row makes up 2 weeks ago's winner, Ryan Olson from Strom, Wisconsin in car 21, and the 55 of Brody Shaw from Brownsdale, Minnesota.
8 cars, 8 laps, heat number 1 of 5 for our Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA B Mods. Green flag is in the air. Thiel and Kath will battle door to door into turn number 1.
Thiel with the early lead in 95, Kath with the momentum on the high side. As they go side by side down the backstretch, Kath hammer down. We got him 3 wide for 4th. Ryan Olson running the bottom all the way up to 4th place in that orange and black number 21. Caden Kath, the early leader in car 83. Eric Thiel settles into 2nd place in car number 95.
Quickly got down to single file down the back straightaway that time, but I think that is not going to last very long. Already a side-by-side challenge for 3rd. Flying Ryan Olson on the outside with Sean Wolski down to the bottom. Wolski holding on to the number 3 spot. Olson setting his sights again to a high line entry into turn number 3. Wolski slides up in front of him.
Yeah, good 4-car battle for the lead. Wolski takes a look on the high side. Now Olson drops down to the bottom.
55 machine calling in a night early. Brody Shaw down on the Lightning Speedway. Hopefully Shaw will be back for one of the B mains. Kath still your race leader. Thiel and Wolski battling for 2nd with Flying Ryan Olson in the 21 right there, looking for any crumbs that he can pick up.
Colby Mann in the 60 car also in the top 5, trying to move up, but keep an eye on the 95X of Wolski looking on the inside.
Wow, what a move in 3. Wolski got underneath Thiel, and he is going to cross the line in the number 2 spot. Completes the pass in 1 and 2. Wolski up to 2nd. Now he can set his sights on Kath. Will he be able to catch him in the closing laps of this 8-lap heat?
He's going to get the 2 to go this time by. Wolski definitely is cutting into that lead of 83 of Caden Kath. To see if he has time, and a lap and a half to go in this one.
Kath quicker coming out of turn number 2, able to distance himself down the back straightaway. Olson coming with him. We could have a 3-car battle on this final lap around the big 3rd mile. Kath, Wolski, and Olson. 1, 2, 3 into turn number 1.
Olson powers through the mud coming out of turn 1 way over the cushion. Survives that one more time through 3 and 4. Caden Kath. Wolski on the bottom. Who's going to come out the winner?
Kath's got the momentum, and Kath will take that momentum all the way to the win at the line. Caden Kath with the 83X, your heat race winner. Sean Wolski across the line 2nd. Flying Ryan Olson 3rd. Eric Thiel 4th on the 95. And then the 60 of Colby Mann rounding out the top 5.
Well, here comes your heat 1 winner. That's Caden Kath from Owatonna, Minnesota. In our Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA B Mods, picking up the heat win. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was.
We got 4 more of these too.
Yeah, our Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA B Mods very well represented here tonight. Starting lineup for heat race number 2 looks like this.
Taylor Skalgi from Caledonia, Minnesota in car 32 will be sitting on the pole for this one with the 54X of Jet Sorensen from Rochester on the outside.
We just saw Caden Kath pick up the opening heat race win. Lined up inside of row number 2 in the 2nd heat is Kylie Kath from Claremont with the number 83. Alongside of him, John Fern from Colfax with his 54.
3rd row has Jake Smith in car 21X from St. Joseph, Minnesota. Tyler Werner on the outside of that 3rd row in car 18 from Menominee.
Starting inside of row number 4 will be Nate Butterfield from Galesville with a red deuce. Alongside of him, Zach Brom out of Winona with a 43.
8 cars, 8 laps. Once again in this one.
Heat number 2 of 5 for our Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA B Mods.
Skalgi and Jet Sorensen setting the pace down the backstretch.
This one could turn out to be a barn burner.
Oh, trouble right off the bat, possibly. Oh, they're giving them the 1 to go. I thought Taylor Skalgi was breaking down right there in turn 3 before it was time to hammer down, but give him the 1 to go. Jet Sorensen on the outside in car 54 had a really bad miss 2 weeks ago here. Saw Mike Down, his father and crew chief, working on that car earlier, picking up some parts.
Jet in the white modified with the green number 54. Right behind him, John Fern in the black modified with the gray 54. Technically Sorensen is the 54X. Fern is the 54. All right, here we go. Green flag is in the air. Heat race number 2 of 5 is underway. Taylor Skauge going to lead us into turn number 1. Jet Sorensen looking racy on the top with Kylie Kath racy on the bottom. Top 3 trying to distance themselves from 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Butterfield in the 2 moving up on the outside up to 4th place. But leading lap number 1 is going to be Taylor Skauge. Boy, Jet Sorensen, once he got up to speed, he's got that 54 hooked up well. Yeah, right on the cushion.
Run on the top side, looking strong. Comes up alongside of Taylor Skauge. Skauge, a multi. Oh, look out,
trouble.
Jet Sorensen gets up into the marbles in turn number 3. Not sure if he's got a right front going down or if he's got something broke. Still trying to feel it out down the front straightaway. Now round 1 and 2. He's backslid to 4th as Butterfield sneaks underneath with the red deuce.
Kylie Kath dropping down the bottom to block that 2. Up front, though, it's Taylor Skauge. Looking solid. Battle for real estate on the bottom of the speedway between Kylie Kath and the 2 of Nate Butterfield. That's going to allow Jet Sorensen to rocket around on the high side, put himself back in a position to take over 2nd.
Taylor Skauge with a fast lap, that time across the line. 82-mile-an-hour average lap speed this time at the line. 82.5 for the 32, so he's getting quicker as the race wears on.
John Farron settles into 5th place in car 54. Then we have the 43 of Zach Brown behind him.
Skauge, Sorensen, Butterfield, and Kath. Butterfield and Kath have a nice barn burner going in that side-by-side battle for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, they're going to get to know each other a little bit better here as this race progresses. Butterfield now rockets, does the slide job up to 3rd in front of the 83 of Kath to take over 3rd place with 2 to go.
Butterfield keeps it at the top in 1 and 2. Kath now does the slide job. Excellent maneuver by Butterfield as he hesitated just a moment before getting back on it. White flag is out, meanwhile, for
trouble
our leader.
for 2. We have our first caution of the night as Nate Butterfield.
Car came out from underneath him between 3 and 4. Just barely caught the front clip of Kath's number 83. And we slow him down with 2 laps remaining.
I was enjoying the slide job action, Dan. We're going to get another one there, but the back end of the car just got away from him a little bit in that 2 car. Got touched by the 83 of Kath to finish the rotation.
He's got a refired. He will drop in at the tail end of the field right behind the 21X of Jake Smith.
He might have been able to save that if he wasn't in traffic fighting for position there, but he's got a couple laps here to make up some distance.
First time we have to re-explain the Delaware double foul restart formation to your race fans. Some of you tuning in via the live stream coverage may not be familiar with the way we do it here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. On a restart, the leader gets to restart out front all alone. Then the car that was scored second gets to choose either the inside or the outside of that first 2x2 row. Jet Sorensen, being scored second, has opted for the outside. That puts Kylie Kath to the bottom with the 83.
I think they're both fine with that.
Yeah, that's exactly where they were running. John Fern right behind him, and Zach Brom there in the second 2x2 row.
Exactly. All right, looking good. Tightening up through 3 and 4. Here we go. Green's in the air. Taylor Skauge, what's going to happen here? Oh, we got him locked up for Zach Brom, and Nate Butterfield will lock together down the front stretch for a bit. And the caution flies. I think we're going to redo this one. Your race director, Tyrone Lingenfelder, telling the drivers, don't start until the race starts. You have to let the leader start the race, so give him one more time around.
Bobby Owen, our official starter, up on the flag stand, pointing down to Nate Butterfield, who got an early jump on that start. So we re-rack him, restack him, and get ready to refire him with 2 to go in this second of 5 heat races for our Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA mods. Thus far, it's been all Taylor Skauge. We'll see if he can hold on to it through the final 2 circuits. Green flag back in the air. Skauge is able to distance himself a bit from the 83 of Kylie Kath.
Yeah, Kath gets a really good start coming out of turn 4. Has that position, but keep an eye on that 54 of Jet Sorensen. Once he gets it wound up, now Kath takes away his line on the top side.
Sorensen in the marbles a bit. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for Skauge, Kath, and Sorensen, your top 3.
John Fern up to 4th in car 54. Battle for 5th. as Butterfield goes around the outside of the 43 of Brahm. Checkered flags in the air, though, for your Heat 2 winner, Taylor Skauge, with Kylie Kath, Jet Sorensen, John Farron, and Nate Butterfield. So good one there from start to finish. Picking up the Heat 2 win from Caledonia, Minnesota. We'll give him a chance to get around out of turn number 4. Put your hands together for Taylor Skauge, driver of car number 32.
Skauge, the 2019 season opener feature winner here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. First feature win at MTS back in 2018 opens up the night this evening with a heat race win in that Richardson Sanitation number 32. Heat race number 3 already out onto the track. Starting lineup has Jackson Hale on the pole. Jackson out of Grand Meadow, Minnesota with the 28J. Alongside of him, Drew Williams from Rochester in the 7W.
Deanna Mithen from New Richmond, Minnesota, in car 53 will be on the inside. And Brady Bolin in car 88 will be on the outside, moving up to the B-Mod class this year.
Lining up inside of row number 3 will be Kyle Brown from Minnesota City, Minnesota, with the number 20 machine. Alongside of him, coming up from Decorah, Iowa, Dan Christopher with a 42 Bear Creek Builders Eastside Body Shop entry.
And Derek Schroth makes up our 7-car field from Almero, Wisconsin, in car 10B.
8 laps, 7 cars. Heat number 3 of 5 for the Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA B-Mod. Is going to give him one more lap to make sure that we've got everybody in the correct position. You probably noticed via the process of simple elimination in that second heat, Tyler Werner, the car not to make the start there in the 18. Hopefully, it's not a done evening for Werner. Perhaps we will see Werner later on this evening in one of the B mains.
I think Drew Williams, isn't he the driver that got wrapped up in that multi-car accident where Ryan Olson ended up on his lid last year? We lost Scott Kunda and Nate Butterfield and a couple other drivers in that incident.
Drew Williams and starting on the outside of the front row alongside of Jackson Hale's 28J. Green flag is in the air. Heat race number 3 underway. The jackhammer going to lead us into turn number 1.
Hammer down to the 28J. We got him 3 wide for second place.
Dan Christopher coming underneath to battle not only for second, third, and fourth, now just for second and third. Now just second as he sneaks up to the number 2 spot as they cross the line. Christopher on the move, could be ready to challenge your race leader.
Well, I talked to Christopher down in the pits. He said, yeah. I said, the car looked good. He said, well, yeah, now the motor was missing all last week. So this time it looks like he's got it hooked up good. He's challenging for the lead coming out of 4. Hale on the high side, Christopher on the bottom. Christopher takes over that lead in car 42.
Tiana Mattoon just outside of the top 3, running 4th with the number 53 machine. Then a bit of ground back to the 20K machine of Kyle Brown. Brown rounding out the top 5 as displayed on the Coca-Cola scoring tower outside of turn number 3. Up front, though, Dan Christopher with a 42. Socially distancing himself from the competition.
Good one, Dan.
Had to sneak that in sometime tonight, right?
Good battle for second place. Looks like Hale has some company with Williams and Mithen running 3rd and 4th on the high side, trying to get some extra bite. Looks like Jackson's off the pace in that 28J a little bit.
Maybe the inside line not quite working as well as was the outside line, which is where he was running earlier.
Oh, comes together with the 7W Williams. It's the case. I don't think he was aware that 7W was on the outside there.
A side pan slap on entry into turn number 3. That allows both Kyle Brown and Tiana Mattoon to close in. Now we've got a 4-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 2 rows side by side with a green flag straight up and down. 2 laps remaining for heat race number 3.
Kyle Brown in the 20K getting into the mix as well. Looking on the inside of Mithun with 2 to go.
White flag up for Dan Christopher. One more trip around the big 3rd mile for the 42 machine and one more lap for this 4-car battle for second. Williams holding his own there with the 7 machine. Jackson Hale on the inside with a 28J. Then it's Brown and Mattoon. Christopher with the win.
Christopher with the win, and then it's a race for everybody else here for second place. Hale on the bottom, Williams on the top. Williams takes over second, Jackson Hale third, Kyle Brown and Tiana Milton running out your top 5. Good race, second on back. But this guy was in a league of his own for heat number 3. That's Dan Christopher in car 42. Let's give him a round of applause.
Christopher with that Rage chassis. Racing with support from J-Line Designs, Reliable Dumpster Service, Malcolm Enterprises, Eastside Body, Christopher Construction, amongst others. Heat race number 4. On the track now, lining up on the inside of the front row will be former Mississippi Thunder Speedway track champion Ben Modry from Hastings, Minnesota with his 85. Alongside of him, lining up on the outside of the front row, will be Dexter, Minnesota's Dan Lewison. Inside of row number 2, Andrew Blease from Chatfield with the 2AB. Alongside of him, two-time USRA national champion Brandon Hare with a 56H. Inside of row number 3, Noah Grinstead from Austin, Minnesota, brought his number 99 out to play this evening. Alongside of him, lining up on the outside of row number 3, will be Garrett Witeski from Austin, Minnesota with a 35 JR. And rounding out the 7-car field, a former two-time track champion here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, Parker Hale with a 28. 7 cars, 8 laps, heat number 4 of 5. Green flag is in the air. And Ben Modry leads us down the front stretch and into turn number 1. At least 3 former Mississippi Thunder Speedway championships on the track right now. 2 by Parker Hale, 1 by Ben Modry. 3 wide into turn number 3.
For real estate there in turn 3. Trouble.
Wow, bumping and banging all the way into the turn. Parker Hale is off the pace. May have either broke something on the right front corner there or gotten a flat right front.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to keep going. Oh, yeah, we got some issues there with the wheel.
I think he's refired it there. A little bit of the overflow had ignited, but he's got it.
Exciting.
Yeah, he's got it refired. Not sure if he's going to be able to race on. We'll see as he comes down the front straightaway the extent of the damage on the right front corner there. Yeah.
Yeah, towed out a little bit. A lot of it, actually.
Quite a bit, yeah. So Parker Hale will not be starting the night with a heat race win. That may not just be bent. I think that one's broke. So the tire just kind of wobbling there on the right front. Hopefully they've got all the parts they need back at the hauler. So the Hale Racing stables will go to work to see if they can correct the right front corner of Parker Hale's number 28.
So we'll re-rack the field here with Ben Modry, Dan Lewison on the front row. Well, the lap was scored, so Lewison is in his correct position in 4th place. Looks like we have Andrew Blease.
Been following Andrew's exploits via social media, putting together some great race car wraps. That one of his there on the car, of course. Everybody antsy in turn number 3. Finally put the loud pedal down. Green flag is out, and Ben Modry will lead us into turn number 1. Brandon Hare trying to use that high line, see if he can get some momentum wound up. Close the gap maybe between his orange 56 and that black and yellow 85 of Modry. Doesn't happen down the back straightaway. Across the line to complete lap number 2. Modry with an 81 mile an hour average lap speed. Still your race leader. Now Andrew Blease feeling a challenge for 3rd as they race nose to tail down the back stretch and into turn 3.
Noah Grinstead in the 99 car sitting in 4th place. Eyeing up that position held by the number 2 of Andrew Blease. Brandon here really working the top side of that speedway, trying to get a little momentum to gain on the 85 of Ben Modry. A couple of tough customers, right? Running 1st and 2nd in this class. These two know each other probably very well, racing continuously with each other.
Tail end of the field, Garrett Witeski in the 35 JR and Dan Lewison in the number 8. Looks like Lewison struggling with a very tight race car, at least in turns 1 and 2. That time he gets it to rotate. Back up front, Modry, Hare, Blease, and Grinstead, your top 4.
Modry, another one of those road warriors that'll go anywhere to race.
Yep.
I see him all over Iowa, all the way through Minnesota and Wisconsin. 2 to go this time by for him and the rest of the field.
Well, the last couple of laps are going to be Modry's to cherish as he has a comfortable advantage over Brandon Hare, about a 1/3 of a straightaway, separating the 85 and the 56H. Same distance between Hare and Blease, by the way.
1 to go this time by for Modry. Garrett Witeski retires his 35 junior to the infield with a breakdown. One more time through 3 and 4. The win's going to go to the 85 of Ben Modry. Picking up Heat 4 victory in the 85. Brandon Hare finishes second. Andrew Blees third, and Noah Grinstead in fourth place. With the 8 of Dan Lewison picking up fifth place.
Now remember, with the 37 entries in the Black Horse Barn Group USRA BMOD division, it's not going to be draw-redraw to figure out tonight's feature lineup. It's going to be passing points, so we will have to let the mathematicians crunch the numbers after these 5 heats are done, or we will try and pass that information along to you as soon as we can. Meanwhile, heat number 5 rolling out onto the track now. Starting on the pole with the 16 of Dan Hovden from Decorah, Iowa. Alongside of him, former 600 mod track champion here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, Bob Szewski with the Ace Auto number 40.
Row number 2 has the 21W of Tegan Woodstrack on the inside and the 02K of Hunter Kennedy from St. Ansgar, Iowa on the outside.
Lining up inside of row number 3 will be Mike McKay from Sparta, Wisconsin with the 30. Alongside of him, Shadow Kitchener from Arkansas, Wisconsin in the 68.
And the 26G of Ryan Gierke from Villard, Minnesota make up this 7-car field. 7 cars, 8 laps. Heat number 5 for Black Horse Bar and Grill USRA B mods. Let's see Garrett Wojtaski getting a push through turns 3 and 4.
Hopefully Garrett will be able to come back out later on this evening for B main. We'll clear Wojtaski off the turn 1 exit from the track, and then we'll get ready to turn heat race number 5 loose. After our Black Horse Barn Grill USRA B mods 5th heat race, we'll run our open late model qualifying heats. We'll wrap it up with River City Manufacturing USRA Modifieds. Nice turnout by the Modifieds tonight. We have 4 heat races with 31 entries for the River City Manufacturing USRA Modifieds. Green flag is in the air. Heat number 5 underway, and Hovden with the number 16 sets sail to the front from the point. 1 and 2 are his. Bob Szewski right there to battle in second with a 40 machine.
Szewski taking that 40 car just where he took the 600 mod every year, up to the high side right on the cushion, running solidly in second. 02X, Hunter Kennedy looking solid in third, but he's got company. Company times 3, it looks like.
Nice 4-car battle there. 3 wide down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. 1 car high up against the concrete. Don't think he actually touched it. Got pretty close, though.
That's Shadow Kitchener in the 68, who also occasionally brings a Hornet down here to compete.
Well, I tell you what, Bob Szewski is not losing any ground on Dan Hovden. And when that's the case, you're having a good night, because Hovden always very quick here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. And this Bob Szewski's first full season behind the wheel of a B-mod.
Yeah, so realistically, probably a 7th race, I'm saying.
Yep.
And probably the 2nd or 3rd with this new car. Keeping up with Hovden is a victory in itself right there.
Absolutely. Hovden pulls away a little bit that lap with an 81-mile-an-hour lap. Meanwhile, 3-car battle now for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I believe that Michael McKay car, who is retiring to the infield, I believe that's an asphalt car that he brought up to try out tonight. The 30 car from Sparta, Wisconsin. Good 3-car battle for 3rd place. Look at that action. The 02 of Hunter Kennedy gets shuffled out. Shadow Kitchener and Ryan Gierke in there battling it out. Gierke's going to take over 3rd place.
2 to go for your race leader, Dan Hovden. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, it sure looks like this will be a heat race win for him.
1 to go for the field.
Final trip down the back straightaway for our 5th heat competitors. Checkered flag is in the air. Dan Hovden's got the heat race win. Nice show by Bob Szewski with the Ace Auto number 40 machine.
Gierke 3rd, Hunter Kennedy 4th. And Shadow Kitchener rounding out the top 5 in car 68.
Boy, I tell you who made out very well in that heat race. That's Ryan Gerke with a 26G. Came from a 7th place starting spot up to a 3rd place finish. So he will rack up a few extra points. But there's your heat race winner. How about a nice round of applause for pole sitter, starter, and heat race winner, Dan Hovden.
Moving on now to our open late models. We have 2 heats.